Welcome. It's your girl, Folasade, the accountability accountant, guys. I am so excited to be with you guys on this amazing Tuesday. It's kind of beautiful outside, guys. Don't mind the voice and my little Dora bow cut, okay? Try to switch it up and cut my wig like 5 minutes before I had to come to the studio. So guess what, ladies? Bowl cut it is. Dora, Dora the Explorer. So no, guys, I'm so excited. Tax season starts in about a few days, so we are going to talk about all things taxes today. How to navigate tax season, how to look for and hire a professional outside of myself, how to protect yourself. This tax season, guys, we have a lot in store for you guys tonight. So if I were you, I will grab my pen and my paper, share the live stream, whether you're watching us on RipRadioNetwork.com, Facebook, or Periscope, or any other platform. You want to share this up with your girlfriend, your colleague, and say, Falash, they're going to be talking about them taxes, girl, and you need to know. So I advise you to share the video and then comment or call in at 301-232-5700. And look, we're going to talk about taxes tonight. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. So it's your girl Folasade, the accountability accountant, guys. If you guys are not following me on all things social media, please head over to Instagram and follow me, Folasade the accountant. Facebook, Folasade the accountability accountant, guys, and join our mailing list by going to bit.ly/TMZ get notified. So next week is the 18th. I don't think we have a guest. I'm not sure. My team should have informed me so I can let you guys know. But so far, I don't think we're having a guest. But forget about the guest, y'all. We got to talk about and prepare you guys for this upcoming tax season. So this 2021 tax year, honestly, has been extremely busy for me and my team so far, and really, really exciting. But I'm a little bit worried about you guys, okay? So about 2 to 3 shows ago, I mentioned that the IRS would definitely be beefing up their auditing for small businesses, okay? So they put out an article in November basically saying they're hiring IRS agents to audit small businesses, right? And so I'm thinking like, okay, you know what? These a-holes, they already up to no good. And guess what? As of this week, people are starting to get bogus notices from IRS saying that, oh, we're about to levy on your house. We're about to levy on your bank account and garnish any of your state refunds. You owe this money for 2016, 2017, 940 and 941. And you owe this and you owe this and you owe that and you. So yeah, guys. Okay. On another note, I am so flipping worried about all of you self-preparers. So many of you guys don't know, I am an advocate of you not using TurboTax to file your taxes. And if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you probably saw my recent video saying, okay, y'all, this is not the year for you to be filing your taxes via TurboTax. None of you. I don't care if you don't have a business or if you do. And I gave you guys a lot of reasons as to why you shouldn't file your taxes via TurboTax. So number one, even if they have their dedicated professional, hi, I'm Folasade, your dedicated TurboTax rep. How are you, right? I'm here to serve you. They are not the ones filing your tax return. So don't be deceived, okay? Thinking, is that the phone ringing? Thinking that, just because you use the TurboTax, the TurboTax friend feature, that you have a professional like myself filing your tax return, guys, that is not true. You are still responsible for everything that goes on that tax return and everything that you guys keep off of your tax return, okay? So the reason why I do not want any of you guys to be filing TurboTaxes is because it's just so many changes and so many tax credits. And like, guys, look at my eyes. Like, I'm like burning red. I was just reading about 5 different credits this morning so I can start implementing those tax credits on my clients. So like, for example, many of you guys don't even know that if you run a small business and you were hit with COVID, you can actually qualify for a tax credit for the time that you were off suffering from COVID. But because you guys are using TurboTax, guess what's going to happen? And if you already filed already and you didn't watch tonight's show, guess what have happened? You already left coins on the table. So this is why now I ask all my clients, girl, was you sick last year? Did you get sick? Did you get sick? Like, do you got COVID? Like, I'm asking them not to protect me and my team, but just so I can maximize their tax deductions and take advantage of all of the allowable credits that are out there. Like, honestly, guys, yes, TurboTax, you pay $100. And yes, you may have to pay me $300 to $400, but the difference is knowing that you've gotten every credit that you qualify for. And this is not the time, especially when, what did my sister call it today? That moratorium. What's that policy, y'all? Somebody help me out. 301-232-4639. 5700, right? Call me, let me know if you know about. That's when Congress had implemented a law that none of the states were able to cut off your utility bills. So that policy expired December 31st. So guess what's happening right now? All of the utility companies are now going around shutting off people's electricity, their gas, their water bill. So right now, all of you need your tax money, but you're using TurboTax. And I advised you guys for years not to use TurboTax for this particular reason. Situations like this, where you need to have a professional ask you certain questions and have read all of the changes that have occurred. Like, guys, this is why we get paid what we get paid. And this is why you pay TurboTax that $100, is because while TurboTax is they're tightening up the screws and making adjustments on the tax form, we don't have to worry about that part. We have to know the tax knowledge so we can leverage every part of it. And that's what a professional like myself is doing right now. But guess what? Y'all want to save $300 or $400, and I don't advise it this year. So that's number one. Do not file your taxes via TurboTax. I know you cheapskates and all of y'all like, Folasade, here you go again with this nonsense. Y'all know every year I say it because I want you guys to do better. And let me give you a real live example of why TurboTax is never really that satisfying for all of you. Okay, number one, I had a client call. They've already paid their invoice and moved forward, but they called the office. Well, Randy called them and scheduled a meeting with me, right? And so the first thing that the individual and his wife was saying was that they're not certain that they've been able to maximize their tax deductions and take advantage of all of the tax credits, and that they're getting back a large amount of money. And so this is where some of you may agree or disagree with me. I don't want you guys to get a large refund back, because that means the IRS held on to your money throughout the year. I really want you guys to use that money to put back into your family, okay? So this person was like, we always get like $8,000 or $9,000 back, and they're high income earners. And they're like, I don't know, what else do we need to do? What are we doing wrong? Because I want to be able to have that money so I can use that to pay my bills, so I can use this to do X, Y, Z, right? Okay. Guess what? They've been using TurboTax all of this time. And that is exactly why they end up overpaying taxes, because they don't have the guidance and the professional that backs them and research for them and calculate some things for them and explain to them the taxes based on their unique situation. So let me repeat this. Taxes is based on your unique situation. While all y'all black folks, and I'm saying black folks because we like really the only ones that do this, except for the other minorities, my Spanish people, they do the same thing. Hey, how much was your refund? Oh, my refund was $5,000. Oh, girl, my refund was only $1,300. I'm blown. My tax person not doing what they supposed to do, or I messed up on the software, or blase, 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 blase. Guys, taxes doesn't work like that. If there's one difference in that person's lifestyle compared to yours, then your tax situation is going to be completely different. If you make $50,000 and your girlfriend makes $75,000 and y'all each have the same amount of kids, your tax situation is different. If you are both married and you have 2 kids and make the same amount of money, but your girlfriend have 1 kid, your tax situation is different. If your girlfriend contribute $15,000 to charity and you don't, and she pays state taxes, then guess what? Your situation is different from hers. But everybody on the World Wide Web think that just because Joe Blow down the street got 5 G's from IRS, that they supposed to get 5 G's from IRS, not knowing that if you barely make any money, okay, and you qualify for the earned income tax credit, yes, you'll get the earned income tax credit, the $5,000 or whatever, right? But then guess what? That's all you're going to get, because the standard deduction and certain other credits reduce your income down to basically zero. So while you comparing somebody that on paper saying taxable income 0 and your taxable income 30,000, how are you expecting them to have the same situation, same refund, same outcome as yours? Guys, we have to start understanding that the tax code is predicated on your lifestyle. If you got 4 kids, you're going to get more money back than me with my little 2. If I own a home and pay more state taxes than you and do charitable donations and have high medical expenses, my situation is going to be different than yours. So let 2021 be the first year that y'all understand that everybody's tax situation is completely different. And I don't care what any person decide to tell you guys, it is never going to be the same unless somebody do some fraud shit, which that's what's happening. Because right now, taxis are all the frauds, all the credit repair people. Now, let me do a disclaimer. I'm not saying that all the credit repair people are frauds. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, this is when they come out. They were not out when I was here in November. And I was here in October and September and all. Oh, dang, I'm trying to teach Bryce's daggone months of the year. That's screwing up. Okay. All of the fraud joints was not here, y'all. Okay? But now they're here. Why? Because they know y'all about to get some money. And they know y'all vulnerable. And they know y'all itching to put that money somewhere or to say you doing something. This is the 2021 year that you guys need to start stashing y'all coins now. Start stashing your money and doing right by your refund. Right by your refund. Because in all actuality, it's not really a refund. Well, it is. It is a refund of your money, not anything extra. And so that's the second thing that I want you guys to get from this conversation, that your refund is not something extra, okay? Yes, you may have qualified for the today. That's another thing. Y'all see here, not even understanding that if you broke, you do need to find somebody to help you with your coins. I don't know why y'all think that accountants and financial advisors only work for the rich. Hell no. I had to financially advise myself to even get to where I am now. Shit, when I was getting refunds, I had to financially advise myself on how to use the refunds. Like, guys, my story, I used my actual tax refund to build my business. I really did. I had Brim. Brim was born 2012. I started the business 2011, August. I got my refund, and I put it right back into the business. I didn't have employees then. I didn't have a big office. I didn't have all of the stuff that we got right now, right? I put it back into the business. So I had to financially advise myself too. So regardless of how much money you have or how much money you don't have, are you being smart with what you have? Are you going to do right with what you have? Make some investments. Save some stuff. Start your business. Do some things. But the last thing that I want you guys to do is just fuck it up. And that's been what about Trace? Yeah, that's my little Drake song now. No, that's the last thing I want you guys to do, because we're still treading light waters right now, y'all. I don't know when we're going to get out of all of this mess. And I don't see anything happening overnight, because there's too much policies happening. They haven't even really niched down and say who deserved what or who's supposed to get what. Biden is putting in so many executive orders and doing so much that they're blindly not even seeing that we're developing more and more problems as we're growing, as we're moving. But that's another story. We talk about taxes tonight. Guys, if you're interested in me filing your taxes, go to bit.ly/quick tax check. Get on my calendar or call my office 202-618-1297, because I truly believe that you can use your tax refund to change the trajectory of your lifestyle, build generational wealth, and do what you need to do, guys, and to be successful, because I did it. My little refund was $2,000-$3,000. I put it right back into my business, and I did it faithfully. Now I owe them like crazy, but guess what? I used my refund to build my business to get where I am. So instead of looking at tax money as if free money, it's actually all yours, and they owe you that money. So now, since you know that they owe you that money and it's yours, shouldn't we be a little bit more responsible and dedicate a purpose to that money? Shouldn't we? But that's not what's happening. Some of y'all are waiting for that money so you can go, y'all know what I want to say, mess it up. But we in 2021 with nothing is guaranteed. And right now, everyone is treading lightly. The governments, your state governments, are filing for bankruptcy, y'all, and y'all don't even know about it. Okay? Your state governments have losses, deficits out the tail, and y'all don't even know. And we think that we could just freely just burn money, especially money that you could have used last year. That's the thing. Your tax refund was money that you guys could have used last year, that they're just giving back to you like, hey, here you go. Here you go. So that's another story. So don't file TurboTax, okay? And please don't mess up the money, because we're still not out of what's happening right now. So guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you guys a minute to grab your pen and your paper, because we're going to talk about ways to really pick your tax professional, which all of you guys, we prepare tax in all 50 states. You guys should work with me, but I'm not that, cocky and egotistical thinking that you all want to work with me. But yeah, but I'm going to show you what you should look for when you try to work with a professional. And then I'm going to just probably give you guys some gems or something, some takeaways as well. So if you guys want to call in, you can call in at 301-232-5700. Please share the video. If you're watching this on ripradionetwork.com, you can share the video on your Instagram, well, not on your Instagram, on your Facebook or any other platforms, and you can share it, with people that you guys know of as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick 3, 4, or 5 minute break, and we'll be right back. Many entrepreneurs fail is because of their self-avoidance, that lack of self-accountability, and really focusing on yourself. So many of the times we're afraid to leverage relationships because we also didn't know we didn't do all the work that we needed to do. So take advantage of what Raven just said. If you have friends that are in high places, leverage those relationships, but make sure you do it strategically and make sure there's some strategy behind it. Many of you are starting businesses because it look like it, everybody else is doing it. It looks cool, it looks this, and it's not around your purpose and your passion. Hello. So what many of you are doing is you're taking those shortcuts in those businesses that you guys presently have because you never initially started up on the right foot. Because that's one of the things when I ask new startups, they're not clear. They cannot tell me the age, the demographics, the income, the avatar of their client. So from your perspective, how important is identifying your target market and getting that business off the ground? That the millennials want the success right now, right away. They don't have the courage to continue past year one if they had a year of failures. So right now, if you are that millennial and you've quit on every idea that you started or every new business, stop and put in some work for at least a year or two in something consistently, and then judge your success off of that. You cannot judge your success because you didn't got a Shopify page and you put it up there, you put the link in your Instagram and nobody bought for over 6 months. Like, you cannot say you did your job by just doing those few basic steps. You have to do the legwork. So books like Raven's workbook, The Game Changer, is that part of the legwork that many, I see from my experience, many millennials try to avoid. Yes, you may not need the old school business plan, but you need some type of plan. Success. Forthcoming matters, but most importantly, being you and staying true to yourself is what really matters.
Take accountability for your actions. You can take all the credit in the world for the things that you do right, as long as you also take responsibility for the things you do wrong. It must be a balanced equation. You don't get it one way and not the other. You get to take credit when you also take accountability.
Hey guys, and we are back. So, we're talking about all things tax season, and I just wanted to kind of go over actually a few things that I think that I'm noticing that people are doing. You guys are comparing your livelihoods and your lifestyles and your refunds and stuff to each other, and you can't do that when you have different situations. You guys don't understand that a refund is your money and it's nothing special about it. And the goal should be to keep more of that money in your household throughout the year so you can live a little bit more comfortable, pay down some debt, maybe save some change, and do a little fun, whatever, right? You can enjoy your money throughout the year, but many of you don't understand that. So that's number 3. Number 4, some of you that make a certain amount of income and you qualify for like the earned income tax credit, especially the higher limits amounts and everything else, then some of you should not be having federal withholding taxes taken out, okay? But because you guys are not being properly advised, okay, you are still paying taxes when there's no particular reason for you to do so. So what I'm finding is that this whole tax game is so chopped and screwed, and many of you don't even know what to do. Folasade rolling with her crew. Hey, did I just drop? My sister be like, there she go. Okay. Back to reality. Okay, guys, so let me talk over some very, very important information. So many of you have probably, because I just received a message from some girl saying, oh, I've already filed my taxes already, so she don't need to meet with me. And I messaged her and said, okay, that's perfectly fine, so my staff can take her off my calendar. But I want to let you guys know, please, 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 do not hit that submit button right now. Do not hit that submit button on your tax return right now, because if there's any updates that are made in between now and when e-filing season open up on Friday, then guess what? Because you've already sent your tax return, more than likely TurboTax or that tax preparer software have actually transmitted your return to the IRS, so it's no turning back. So if there's any mathematical errors because the IRS made updates on their forms, or if there's some credits that you guys missed out because IRS made some adjustments, right? Then guess what? You're out of luck, boo. You're going to have to do an amended return, boo. And you've actually spent more money because you rushed to get the tax return in, boo. Guess what? You should have just waited. I've been telling you guys, stop rushing, especially if you earn income credit and stuff. Let me tell you why. Because they're not issuing your refunds no time soon. Due to all the fraud, okay, you guys will not start to receive your refunds until the beginning of March, because they have to go through a verification process. They need to first verify that that W-2 or that 1099 was it really issued to you. Okay, and there's some proof that you of that money that you're claiming. Number one, they're also verifying that you're eligible for those tax credits, for the earned income tax credit. They're also verifying whether or not your tax preparer or the software has done their due diligence. So while all y'all sitting there submitting your tax return on 2/9, 2/8, 2/7, you probably have screwed yourself. You probably have messed yourself up. And I've seen this happen countless years. This is why I've been telling you guys for years, just hold off. So prime example, I went into my tax software today. I just did another update. I just got an update from yesterday. So if you submitted your tax return on the 7th, then that update that they just issued, your tax return does not reflect the changes, man. So yes, I want you guys to file timely. I don't want you guys to be the first, okay? The reason being is you're not going to get your money anytime soon anyway. Number two is let the systems go through whatever updates that they need to go through. And remember, the IRS was so under pressure, and they've had to create so many additional forms and so many different procedures and so many different regulations that guess what? They've made some mistakes in the tax forms. We've seen them. They've made errors in that stimulus recovery rebate. So for all of y'all, here we go. Y'all rushing for no reason. Do not rush. Oh, somebody on Instagram said I was about to hit submit. No, do not hit submit right now. Just let it sit right there until they do their last couple of updates. I will submit on Friday because that's when the IRS officially start accepting tax returns, okay? Please just wait until Friday. At least by Friday, we will know for sure that most of the forms have been updated and everybody has gotten the final approval from the IRS. Please, if you are filing your taxes right now, just hold off until Friday. The 3-day, by waiting until Friday, it's not going to make a difference because all you're doing is preventing your tax return from being improperly or incorrectly submitted. Because the updates that's going to happen between yesterday and Friday could be massive. And we don't even know if your software provider have their forms correct. Remember, each software create the forms according to the IRS, create the calculations according to the regulations with IRS. They're not perfect. They make mistakes too. But because you guys are not preparers, you guys do not see what we see on the end. Y'all think TurboTax is kudos until y'all sit and be a bird's eye in my office. And you be like, oh my gosh, Folasade, I see why you don't want nobody filed TurboTax today. Yeah, you'll really see it. You be like, oh, okay, yeah. Nah, it's not even worth it. So number one, if you're filing earned income tax credit, or if you're getting the additional child tax credit, or if you're qualifying for any type of educational credits, your tax return would not be processed until the IRS can go through a verification process, okay? Number two, if you are using a software like TurboTax or Professional and they do not put effective due diligence notes in there, right, then your return can possibly get rejected. Please wait. Your return can possibly get rejected due to the lack of your due diligence. So what do I mean by that? That means you need to verify that that child is yours, verify and certify that the information is true. So if you're not putting certain things inside of the system, and then guess what? A lot of y'all pull money out of your 401ks and your IRAs and all of that stuff. And guess what? You don't know what to do with it on TurboTax. I don't advise you guys to do. I'm telling you, this is about to be crazy. There are certain forms that we need to fill out, okay, to make sure you guys don't get penalized. And from what I'm hearing in my tax groups, some shady preparers or if you're trying to qualify for certain things, guys, the net operating law says if you're trying to, man, guys, when I tell you, I'm gonna see if my team can maybe just list out. I would tell my team to list out on Instagram or something all of the various different credits that were implemented due to coronavirus. And I'm going to see, because we have our marketing meeting, what's today, Tuesday? We have our marketing meeting on Thursday. I'm going to see if we can have those out for you guys. So you'll see why I do not want you guys to use TurboTax. Even when you guys trying to get y'all little energy credit, don't do TurboTax. Please, y'all. It is not worth the headache. So number one, earned income tax credit. You're not going to get your money no time soon. Child tax credit, anything like that. They're going to do a verification process, okay? But last but not least, here's how you choose a tax professional. So number one, you want to go to irs.gov, and I think it's /preparer. You put your preparer zip code in, and the first four letters of their last name to see what type of credentials do they hold. Are they a CPA? Are they an EA? Are they a registered tax preparer? Whatever they are or whatever they not, you will see it on the IRS site. So number one, go and make sure that the person has some type of credentials. And the reason why is because if your returns get audited, that person that have credentials can represent you in some form of fashion. An EA like myself and a CPA, we can represent you all the way to tax court. Well, before you go to tax court. An EA and a CPA, we still have to take another exam, right, to be able to represent you guys in tax court. So we will officially be tax attorneys, okay? But if you have somebody that's off the street, they cannot represent you. More than likely, they are not even saying that they prepared your tax return. If you are working with somebody that's a registered tax preparer, RTRP, something like that, right? Then they cannot actually represent you per se in an audit, but they can communicate with the agent on your behalf for the years that they filed for you. So if they're RTRP, I think that's what it is, y'all. I don't even know if that's right, okay? And they did your tax return this year and their credentials are up to date, they can help you with this year's tax return. But if they didn't have their credentials up to date last year, they can't represent you. Me and CPAs and stuff, we can represent you for whatever problems, tax problems you've gotten yourself into. Fraud, somebody claiming somebody's kids, you cheated on your taxes and took a credit that you wasn't supposed to take. And you know you need help. Let me stop. Okay. All right. So on another note, please go to the IRS site and check out to make sure that person have credentials. The second thing you want to do is get on a call with them and see what their processes are like. See what they are capable of doing. Not all professionals are alike. Okay, we all read differently. We all study differently. We all have different cases and different situations. So you want to go with someone that is qualified for your situation. So for example, I'm pretty versatile. I know a lot in taxes, but I don't do trust tax returns. I don't do trust tax returns. Okay, I don't do estate tax returns. I don't like them. I don't want to learn them. I don't want to master them. But I've mastered S corps, corporations, partnerships, personal tax returns, real estate agents, this and that, in all of the different business industries. I don't want to master trust. I don't want to master estate. So if you was to get on a call with me like, oh, I want to work with you, Folasade, and then that you want me to do your trust, right? I'm not going to be the one for you. Okay? So what you want to do is get on a call with that professional and see what their expertise is. Okay? And not all professionals are alike. So for example, everybody's wondering about this cryptocurrency and all of this. Can I just go ahead on and give y'all a good little laughter? If your tax professional have been operating with individuals with massive stock accounts, that crypto shit ain't nothing different. Let me say that again. If your tax professional is like myself that have handled stocks and bonds and all of this, okay, capital gains and everything else, then we are well versed in crypto. The shit is not no different. We use the same form. The only difference is crypto owners have been deceiving the IRS for so many years, hiding it, okay, or hiding y'all trades. Okay, so this is why it seemed like it's so unique, but it's not unique. Y'all was just scamming the system. That was it. And the IRS had to put it out there. But it's no different. You don't file any different tax forms. You don't do nothing different than a normal person that have a stock investment account that buy and sell. But guess what? Everybody on the web think crypto is some shit that's very special. It is not that special. The only difference is you have to work with a professional that know about stocks and stuff and selling and capital gains. And if that person don't know about it, then they can't help you with your crypto. So this is why it's very important that you get on a call with that professional and see what they're capable of handling. Okay? Don't just go blindly thinking that all professionals are alike. And then last but not least, just because you guys had a bad experience with a professional, because somebody on Instagram said that I had a very bad experience with a professional, and I need to go back and file TurboTax. Guys, you're going to have a worse experience with TurboTax as well. You have to understand that everybody is different, and depending on their situation and circumstances, it may have been a reason why it didn't work out. Maybe they, took on too many clients. Maybe they didn't review your return right. Maybe they didn't ask you the right questions. The reality is that just don't say you don't want to work with another professional because you had a bad experience. I've seen more people lose, tens and 30, 40, $50,000 in taxes over a few years because they were using TurboTax and have not been properly advised for years. Now, If you only have a W-2, you didn't pull out money for COVID, you don't qualify for certain credits, go use TurboTax. You qualify, you good. But if you have a small business, you didn't get your stimulus, or you got part of it, and you trying to take advantage of some tax credits, TurboTax is not for you. Working with a professional like myself is really the key to mastering this stuff and understanding how the tax game work. Because it's a bit trickier than Monopoly, guys. You know what, Monopoly, you go around, you land on somebody's stuff, you pay them, you move on, you do this, you do that, right? Taxes is you make a little bit of money, you owe more. If you make a little bit less, you owe some more. Like, depending on your situation, the taxes are going to adjust. And every change in your lifestyle, your taxes will change. This is why it's important when you work with somebody like myself, we understand those changes and you can communicate with us throughout the year. And we can tell you guys what to do. But I'm also seeing that some of y'all that even work with me, y'all don't even call me throughout the year. Y'all don't even call me throughout the year to ask questions or to follow up. So it all starts with you and your mindset. You and your mindset. And you understanding that that tax money is yours, and the tax code is made up of thousands and thousands and thousands of pages of tax credits and deductions. Do y'all know that the tax code only have about 10 pages of ways that the IRS can tax your income? 10 pages. And the rest of the tax code is all credits and deductions. Let me repeat that for y'all. The tax code is made up of thousands and thousands of pages of tax credits, but only about 10 pages of ways for them to tax your income. But because you guys don't believe that and fully understand that it's not meant to just rob you, it is meant for you to hire professionals so you can maximize it, you guys have a whole different perspective and you think that the code is meant to take all your money. Nope, it just says if you have income from these 10 sources, it's considered gross income and it's considered earned income. And according to earned income, it is taxable. And it's taxable in this manner, in this manner. However, unearned income, that's all it says, the first 10 pages. After that, it's all about ways to minimize your taxes due. So, guys, as you watch this episode of The Money Zone on RipRadioNetwork.com, guys, I really advise yourself to go back and ask yourself, how do you feel about taxes? Do you believe anything that I said tonight? Or do you believe that it's the IRS money? Do you believe that you can't build generational wealth through your tax refund? Do you believe that you can't save it? Do you believe that you could have done more with it in your home throughout the year? It's all on your mindset. And one thing I want you guys to walk away from tonight's show is that your unique situation predicts the outcome of your taxes. I have clients that do a lot of charitable donations, and because they do it so much, they are going to enjoy this tax year because they get 100% deduction of all of their cash contributions. So normally they weren't able to get 100%. So they were just giving freely from their heart. Predicts your tax return, not your shady ass tax preparer. I'm your girl, Folasade, the accountability accountant, guys. I look forward to serving you guys this upcoming tax season. And as you guys know, when we come on Rip Radio, now if I did my little live stream throughout the day, I'll be kind of stiff and everything. But, we come on Rip and I can freely be me. And, that's me being a little sailor, rapping a little bit, dancing and everything. But I just wanted you guys to know I love you guys so much. And don't get screwed up trying to save $200. It's not really worth it. And it's really time for us to understand that our taxes is our money. And let's go get that mess. I'll see you guys next week and have an amazing night. BitLY.com/TMZ, all caps, get notified, and look out for what we have coming out in store and all of our guests coming on the show, guys. Tonight was amazing.